Hello everyone, and welcome back to Everyday Husband Quotes, the channel for marriage advice, marriage entertainment, and everything else marriage. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today let's talk about Melody Holt being called Mr. T. Honey. I also want to talk about Carlos King trying to do damage control after the airing of the altercation episode. But first, honey, on an interview with Carlos King on his podcast, he calls Melody Mr. T. And for those who don't know who Mr. T is, I'll leave a picture on the screen and do a comparison of what made Carlos call Melody Holt Mr. T. But he got this initial thought when Melody went to Destiny's relunch with the gold chain around her neck. And of course, you know, Melody and him both laughed about it, but Carlos ain't have to do sis like that. But I just thought I'll grace y'all with a little humor today. But what do you think about that? I also want to talk about Carlos King addressing the episode with the altercation as he tries to do damage control for this particular episode on his podcast and address the comments from social media where they are calling this episode, honey, Ratchet. He also says that the episode with the fight altercation was the most anticipated episode of the season. Carlos says that the episodes to come will show a lot of different conversations between the original 6 couples where they are respecting one another and just really probably trying to clean up that episode, y'all. But he says that Marsau and LaTisha will talk to Miss Wanda. He continues to say that we're going to see a very interesting way how adults deal with the heated situation that happened. The best thing I love about this show is the cast is super real, he says, but they are also super aware of their position. And that's why when you see what happens after the altercation, you're going to see a very mature conversation about respect. And what also makes me happy, he says, is the fact that no punches were thrown, no hits were landed. And that's what we like to see on reality TV. And, you know, I can agree with that. He continues on by saying, y'all can tweet me all day long about Ratchet this, Ratchet that. I'm happy that no one got hurt. I'm happy that these grown adults felt the need to have this heated moment, but also knew to separate themselves from it. And that's something that should be applauded. And then, you know, you can hear Carlos in the background on his podcast tooting his own horn and applauding that particular comment. Now, he says that the main thing he wants to address is the social media commentary about the word ratchet, and says he feels like the word is overused and the word is being used when Black people are having a very heated moment on reality TV. Y'all don't use the word when Teresa Giudice flipped the table. Y'all only use the word ratchet as it applies to Black people. And he says that pisses me off because it's the Black audience who some of y'all run with that narrative. In the real world, I don't know any family or friendships, no matter your race, where people haven't had a huge disagreement that escalated and people wanted to defend each other. That's life, he says. All races do it, but still, y'all use the word ratchet as it relates to what happened in this episode. And then y'all like to say y'all make Black people look bad. Let me tell you something, he says. You are responsible for yourself. Not one person of color should feel like they carry the weight of the community on their shoulders, and we all make mistakes. What's the point of living this life if you're going to live without making mistakes? When you guys saw Will Smith slap Chris Rock, I don't think the word ratchet was ever used, and that was a physical contact. And what's so interesting about that moment, he says, is that happened on a mainstream stage called the Academy Awards, but that was an act of physical contact, so that's not ratchet. But Black people having a heated moment is, you need to look deep down inside and see where it comes from and why you see the need to say it and why you see the need to care what other communities feel about you. It's a very deep communication in terms of why you feel the need to judge a group of Black folks that had a moment that they apologized for and moved on from it. Why can't you move on from it? Why you have to put labels on us, he said. That's some deep-rooted stuff that y'all need to figure out. And then at the end of all of that, honey, Carlos King calls himself Pastor King. He said that Pastor King came out. Ooh, y'all, that was a lot. But before I wrap this video, I agree with Carlos King to a certain extent that this show should definitely not be defined by the word ratchet. I think that the cast as a whole is much more mature than that, but I also feel like the show has gotten away from its original concept. And even though drama sells, he should have taken a different turn when it comes to this show. I personally feel like Martell and Melody should not have aired out their business on national TV, y'all. I think a divorce was bound to happen because of all the bad things that Martell did to his ex-wife Melody. But with that being said, all of this happened on such a public platform that it opened up doors for so many people to have an opinion, hence why people are calling the show Ratchet. Now, social media is very opinionated, and I don't don't know how you can stop the negative comments from coming in. But I will say, you know, I agree with Beyonce, honey, that the best revenge is my paper. So I think Carlos can agree, touch and agree, to focus on that. But a lot of us, you know, are tired of seeing Black people on TV fighting. Our community needs to see Black success, Black families, Black excellence, Black successful marriages and businesses. It's not to say that we want to see perfection, but this altercation really shifted some of the viewers' perspective of the show. I see it in my comments all the time, but I'm not going to continue to go on because I could go on and on, y'all. But I'm going to wrap up this video. Y'all leave your thoughts in the comment section of this video. As always, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.